Welcome back to Crash and Eddie. It is the end of February, the 27th today, right, Crash? What's going on?
Yeah, can you believe it already? One more day of February, and we're out of here.
History.
Hey, just a quick reminder: please click like, subscribe, and bell button and all. It's very important. It's the best way for us to promote cryptocurrency as a group, promote our show, and allows us to get more people to have our Crash and Eddie show up on their screen.
Yes, sirree. Don't forget, this is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment. We're going to show you some good stuff today. XLM, we're going to talk about a little bit. This is a Crash special. Coin number 10. What do you like about it, Crash?
A lot of things. It's fast. It's a fork off of Ripple, I believe,
Right.
way back when, and the founder worked for the Ripple Foundation or whatever it is, and it's very fast payment system, global. They've just been integrated into the Flare network, which is super important, and they have a lot of technology that is uh, really the best out there.
Yeah, Jeb McCallum is the founder, and he actually built the XRP ledger. I think he hired David Schwartz, and they kind of built the XRP ledger together. Um, but he
Hmm.
really was the founder of it, and he took that outsourced technology.
Yeah, it's very low. Yeah, and he's created a very low cost and but fast system of transferring money or cryptocurrency or anything across borders globally. Very small increments.
Did I just say outsource? I meant open source and outsource.
Yeah.
Anyways, heavy duty tech. He's pretty brilliant. He also took a lot of Ripple with him. So there's a lot of complaints on the Ripple side that he dumps XRP because he took, man, I want to say he got maybe like, it's billions
Mhm.
of XRP and he sells that monthly. But they have a deal set up where he can only sell like up to 1% of the daily volume or something like that. So it really doesn't
Mhm.
affect the price, but he pretty
Yeah.
much dumps liberally. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. The price for oh, that's XRP. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
yeah, I got XLM up on the screen though, so
Yeah.
it's about 45 cents. Actually, slightly above XRP right now, so that's kind of
Yeah. Yeah. And
super
I think,
liquid.
yeah, when this whole system, I mean, they're not really even being utilized that much right now, but they got the infrastructure that they're putting into place, and when it's ready to go and it's ready to be used big time by the banks and big institutions, yeah, the demand for this stuff is going to go through the roof.
Yeah, these are all the markets that it's on. It's a top 10 coin. Right now it's at number 10, but lots of liquidity, huge liquidity with this thing. They have, I think, half the circulating supply right now is 22.5, max supply of 50 billion. Um,
Hmm.
they did have the same as XRP. They had 100 billion, and they did an interesting thing. I don't know, a year and a half ago, they burned half of it,
Yeah.
so took it down to 50. That was a pretty big deal. Um, they're kind of a sister company to Ripple, and they focus on small payments, so like consumer payments. Um,
Yeah, this is probably what we'll end up seeing used at our gas stations and our grocery stores and things like that. And then Ripple will be used in the institutional and banking world for massive, large amounts of wealth transfer.
Right.
Does that seem right to you?
Yeah, that seems to kind of be where it's going. So we're on the website now. A lot of people, remember when that magazine came out for what is it? The Economist came out, and they had the Phoenix burning, and you look at the logo
Oh
that's
yeah.
on the Phoenix. It's a lot like the Stellar logo. So there's a lot of people think that this might be the one world currency, or it's going to be a chunk of it anyways. I don't know if there's going to be
Where do
one or
you
whatever.
see that logo? I see a lot of astronomical stuff, but
Where? Oh, up here at the top. That's their logo, is their token logo is that circle with the two lines through it.
oh right, uh-huh.
Hold on one second. So yeah, this one, it is pretty similar to the Stellar logo. It's kind of they changed their logo along the way too. Who knows how this conspiracy stuff, but it's they have. You've heard of Zello, that with which U.S. Bank actually uses Zello to move money. Supposedly, I think they
Yeah.
use the Stellar network. That's all Stellar on the back end.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they got a lot going on. The price usually follows XRP. For a long time it was about half of it, but with all the stuff that's been going on with Ripple and that, it's come up quite a bit, and it's moving now. It's 45. What's
Yeah. Yeah. It's
XR?
not
It's
quite
over
half the price.
XRP. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's less than half of its all-time high price.
Right. Right.
So there's a lot of room to go. It was at 92 cents at one point.
Yeah, and that was back when they had 100 billion tokens too. They had it completely different,
Yeah, so this is one that, yeah,
very
I
different
have
market
in
now.
portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else about Stellar? I mean, I don't know. You guys can look into it. It's a most of you probably heard about it out there if you're into crypto at all. I mean, it's always quite a bit in the news, but yeah, more smaller
It's a good
payments.
project. What block do they run on their own block, right? Their
Yeah,
own
yep,
blockchain,
yep. They got their own protocol, and it's
decentralized
much
block.
my it's much. I think it's quite a bit. I'm sure that David Schwartz has added a lot to the XRP ledger, but the original was just a copy of the XRP ledger. It's open source tech.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
basically took that. So all the speed, the backbone of all the speed and stuff that Ripple has is pretty much there.
Well, they changed it. Yeah, the one thing they changed was the consensus governance, or they
You there?
use. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, we lost you for a second. Um, yeah, it's interesting too because a lot of this it's relationships, right? And it's like they almost cut a deal or something. Like these guys, they're not competitors. They don't say they're competitors, and they don't really act like competitors. They kind of work together, and it's like they made a deal that XRP and Ripple they're going to focus on more like the central banks and all that stuff, and these guys are going to be more retail.
Yeah, that's the
So
way it seems. And but they Stellar uses a consensus type of um, they use something different than Ripple as far as how they measure their or get consensus on their blocks before they go on the blockchain.
Um, I think it's pretty. I think it's this. It's both. They're both proof of consensus, which is like an offshoot of proof of stake.
Right.
Uh, Let me see here. How are they secure? The next is consensus protocol, which describes having the four main decentralized, low latency, flexibility, trust, asymptomatic security. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to XRP because it's the tech is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
I
they're
think it's a
both
little
proof.
bit. I think if you dig into it, it's a little bit different than XRP, but the rest of the fundamentals are identical.
Yeah, he's the core was the same, and then they've both built different things into it. And now it's interesting with Flare. Now they're both going to have the smart contract stuff. So
Hmm.
they did, and that was part of why McCaleb left Stellar. Was it was more of a foundational thing of, I don't think he wanted to take the tokens and do things like the Flare project, which is kind of an off. It's funded, by XRP really through that X Spring. I mean, they've done a lot of stuff, and what's the Forte Gaming and stuff like that. They did a lot of companies with by taking these tokens, giving them out to these companies, and getting projects going. Which is what all the great tokens. That's what they're doing. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
ADA. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it works, So, yeah, but it's, all boats are rising in this environment. There's very few that aren't going to, and you need to really raise an eyebrow if they're not in this environment.
Yeah.
But
And, XR or XLM definitely is a long term play for me. I think they have, long term they have unbelievable opportunities and opportunities to grow. So. Um, That's why it's one of the most common and biggest players in the market right now.
yeah. Let's see real quick here if they have. Let's see if they list their partners.
On the bottom of their homepage, they have a list of partners. I think built on Stellar. Yeah, QVest,
Where are you
Circle,
looking?
Bond, all the way. Keep going all the way up just above that.
Resources, tools.
I don't know. I just go to the homepage and then scroll down.
I'm on the home page.
It's right above the where you're at.
Oh, there you go. Duh. Yeah, Circle, Bitbound, USDC is another one I believe that is on Algorand and Stellar. That's
Well,
basically the two big blockchains that USDC runs on now.
yeah. So right above there, you see it's see all projects.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Circle is, that's kind of the basics of USDC. Yeah, I mean, they got a lot. Satoshi Pay. Tempo. Yeah, 6 pages of these things too. I mean, they're deep. This is a blue chipper, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Ledger Nano S.
yeah, IBM WorldWire. Yeah, IBM, they've had stuff with them. They kind of pulled out a little bit, but they got a deep relationship with IBM. I don't know exactly where it's at, but it's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think IBM kind of closed down their whole cryptocurrency stuff, and they must have handed it off to some of these bigger companies to do.
Something, yeah. I mean, there's no way they're getting out of payments and crypto, but they're so connected with like Visa, MasterCard. Who knows what they're.
Yeah, they're behind the scenes doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Solar Wallet, Rehive, the white label wallet, asset insurance backed
And
provider.
this is just, jeez, this is freaking not. This is nothing. They're not even. I don't even see Zello on here. I know that, but I don't know. They
Yeah,
do. They got a ton going on. So
There's probably a lot of projects that they contract with that don't want to be on their page. They don't want to be people to
Yep.
know where operating.
Yeah,
It's
they all
it's there.
sign
It's,
NDAs, non-disclosure agreements,
yeah,
and a lot of them they don't even want to deal with it. They don't want it out there for whatever reason, mostly for competitive reasons, you know.
yeah. Here's the bank house of Von der Height, one of the oldest banks in the EU, in developing a stable currency pegged
Wow.
to the euro.
Yeah. So.
So there's a lot of activity and a lot of wealth to be built on this platform, and that's uh, good thing to consider if you're looking for cryptocurrencies to invest in.
Yep. And now they are going to be all over smart contracts, which will just be a whole nother set of DeFi and all sorts of stuff they'll do too with it. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
companies as big as IBM and Franklin Templeton. That's a big one. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's huge.
Stellar is a good one. Keep your eyes on that, and keep your eye on the Flare network. Once that comes out, I think a lot of different things are going to be impacted from that. We'll talk more about that. We got some information we'll put on another show, but
Mm-hmm.
right now, what else is going on with the market crash? What are you seeing? What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you spend?
Uh, well, the Bitcoin's been pretty much consolidating. It's on a little bit. I noticed a ascending triangle developing. Let's see if it's still the case. Yep. Got an ascending triangle, which is bullish in my mind. I think again here we have another healthy, very healthy pullback and consolidation. This is textbook on what you want to see in a continued bull market. Yeah, the charts couldn't look any better for another big run on Bitcoin.
Okay,
Paul,
yeah, it's they're clearly consolidating right now, which is what you want to see. You get these pullbacks in any asset, and then it
yeah,
consolidates and hopefully goes up higher
yeah,
if
we
you're long.
keep having higher lows. One, two, three. We're on three consecutive higher lows in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, so I mean, and this consolidation could go on for a long time. It could go on for a little time, but
Yeah, I think
there
the longer
is.
it goes, I think the more chance of another super pump is going to happen. So if you see it continue out for another week or two, understand that's probably a really good signal that you should be buying because that may be the new floor for the next downturn.
Hmm.
Got you thinking, don't I?
So you still like that May 3.0 or 2. Well, I'm going to hold you to 2.0 for sure, but you did kind of go 3.0.
Oh, May 1st. Yeah, we have all of March and April. Yeah,
Yeah.
market cap will double from where it is right now.
I don't know. We'll see. The other thing, so some other coins to note. Cardano ADA is on fire, right?
That's going nuts.
Hitting
That's
all
going
time
nuts.
highs.
Yeah. You
Uh,
got to understand, right, that it's Cardano. Oh, we talked about this earlier. Forget it.
yeah, but
Because I
and
thought they are going on their own blockchain, right? They're
they already have
um,
their own. Yeah, yeah. It's a different. They're really direct competitors, and I mean head to head with Ethereum. So you
uh-huh.
notice Ethereum taken in over the last 25 days. You got Ethereum down 25%, Cardano up basically 25%. So
Yeah.
it looks like they're taking market share directly from Ethereum, and that is their use case. So
Mhm.
They have a lot of work, but I don't know about Ethereum. I got serious doubts, man, just because the fundamentals of, I look at the tech and it's just slow and expensive, and you can either scale or not. And this industry isn't waiting for 2 years for you to scale. I just don't see it. They're
No.
going to be around, but uh,
It'd be interesting to see a chart of projects that are leaving Ethereum and going elsewhere and where they're going.
well, I saw an interview with the. Are you familiar with Singularity Net?
Uh, yeah, I've come across them, but I can't tell you much
Yeah,
about it.
that's an interesting one, and they are built on Ethereum. I mean, you just see so many are on Ethereum, so and they're all kind of stuck in a way from development and speed and all this stuff, including a lot of the NFT stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because of Ethereum. So again, this Flare networks and this DeFi stuff that's coming out, stuff like stuff like ADA too is, I mean, people are just hungry for it. So Singularity Net is basically they have 1 billion tokens and they're on Ethereum, but they are getting ready to float I think another 1 billion, but those are going to be on ADA.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I
they're
think
going to be operating on both systems.
right, and basically they're moving over to Cardano. I mean, you listen
Uh,
to the head of them, and
mm-hmm.
they're moving over. They just don't see that tech. And these guys,
Well, I don't know. What market do they serve? If they serve DeFi customers, their customers are DeFi companies, then, they want to be on both platforms so they can service
they're
both.
not. Singularity Net is AI. It's pretty
Uh,
much the most sophisticated AI project out there. It's like it's one of those projects that you might want to invest in, but you're going to be real scared doing it.
yeah. You just hope it doesn't come to your home.
Yeah, right. I
I'm
mean, these guys.
investing in it, but I hope it doesn't come to my home.
You've seen those talking robots, that the ones that are really advanced. You've seen some interviews with
Yep.
those. The
Yep.
ones that are super advanced, those are on Singularity Net.
Mm.
And it's a giant brain, it's decentralized, but you hear we'll when we get into ADA, we'll maybe queue up this interview. It's a pretty good interview with the head of them, and you just hear he talks about just how sophisticated Cardano is. It's really quite night and day from Ethereum. It's not really close even.
Yeah.
So as far as
Well, yeah, we've known
technologically,
for a long time that ADA is very methodical. Cardano very methodical in their development, and they don't bring things out that aren't functioning completely. Where I think Ethereum being first, really the first in the market doing what they're doing with the smart contracts and the biggest boy on the block. Um, it's a little harder for them to steer that battleship. Um, so when they come up with new technology, there's a lot more to implement and to consider when they make any kind of changes. Where ADA and or Cardano, they've really just developed this whole platform in a very methodical manner.
right? Yeah, it's tech is like that. You get stuck in certain technology that you kind of base everything on, and unless you have super deep pockets, to build and build fast, and it's tricky, and it's all about the developers too. Like he's talking about certain developers that ADA has for certain languages, they're really hard to come by. Like they have two in Singularity Net. So and
Mm-hmm.
it gets super technical really fast, but they're
Yeah.
coming, and he built this thing to last. That's what Hoskinson's did, and you can tell. So it's going to be fascinating to see how Ethereum holds up. I mean, a lot of people. You look at Raoul Paul, is it that
Yeah.
He's become quite a fan of Ethereum, and he's just touting 20,000, 20,000. I don't know. We'll see. It might be a little more of a struggle as this these alts come up, man. I mean, he built this right, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Could be
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
That is something to consider. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and you look at the 1 year number for ADA versus Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum's up 575% uh, over the past year, and ADA is up uh, 2,832%.
Yeah. And
Man,
now, see, when tokens get, now that we're in the VC world with crypto, this is when they start licking their chops because they can move money. I mean, VCs have to move money. That's the thing that's what they do. So they don't really want this penny stuff that they can't. It's not liquid, and they can't move. They literally can't move enough money with it. So
right?
now when you
Yeah,
get into dollars and tens and twenties and hundreds, that's when they like it. You
yeah.
know, that's why they love Bitcoin. They can move lots of money and manipulate the heck out of it, man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got futures, so they love that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's Cardano could just be getting going. I mean, I don't know. It's again. Then people look at market cap and well, it can't be that high of a market cap. But market cap. It's debatable if it's even the way to look at this new asset class. I don't know. Could it be trillions of dollars of market cap? Yeah, it could. I don't know that
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna, but it could.
I told you before. I have a friend of a friend of a friend who swears ADA is going to $1,000 in the next year or two.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff it won't, and this is the space you see that in.
It
It
could happen.
and it does. It's just a matter of which ones.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's why I like to look down. I mean, you don't top 30's good, but man, you look down and if you hit on some of this tech that is down there and they really climb up, it's life-changing wealth, really. I mean,
Yeah,
it really is.
and but frankly, there's coins in the top 20 that can have the same amount of growth. I mean, well, look at ADA. I mean, you got 2,800% gain in 1 year.
It is. It's a good example. It's a good
Yeah,
example of it. It's and it gets back to diversification, right?
yeah, exactly,
So, all right, we have
exactly.
come to
Another one. Yeah,
what's
you
that?
got Theta at 27. Theta, Theta
Yeah,
at 20 at number 27 market cap. They're up 2,681% in the last year.
yeah, that was a solid 7 centavos.
Oh, then we got, oh gosh, we have some at the almost at 8,700% for the year. I'm not even going to tell you which one that is. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So stick with quality, people. That's the bottom line. Stick with quality. Be careful. Make your own decisions. Seek financial advice before investing in any of this stuff because it is risky. It's the old risk reward scenario that never dies. High risk, high reward. So, all right, Crash. I know you've been waiting for
Can you
this.
hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You hear me?
Yeah, I was just going to tout BAT.
BAT, Basic Attention Token, in a space
That's
near
the
and dear
that's
to
the
my
Brave
heart.
network. Yeah, they
What's
have
that?
some good. That's the Brave network, Brave browser.
Right. Where is
Yeah,
that thing?
they got some. It's number 69 on the market cap,
Yeah.
but they got some pretty interesting things happening.
Yep. What
Leave
are you
it
talking about? Anything specific you want to bring up?
at no, not at the moment.
Yeah, they do. They do have a lot going on. They are in the search space. That's pretty much your blue
Yeah,
chip. search token and advertising. I mean, it's an advertising
It's a
play.
browser. Yeah, it's a browser. I use it every day. I love my Brave browser versus Chrome or Edge or any of these other ones that track all your data. I use Brave. I use the Brave browser, and I don't get any junk. I get great search. I get great functions as far as bookmarking and password protection. I love it.
Right.
I won't use anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And it's got a wallet attached to it,
right.
crypto wallet. Yeah.
And that wallet is run by Uphold, right? I
No, I think
believe.
it's MetaMask. I use
Is it?
MetaMask on there. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it used to be you had to have an Uphold account to use it, but maybe not.
Uh.
They might have switched that out.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of Uphold. I've tried to use it a couple times and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about it. But it's personal preference. There's so many options out there. So
Yeah, and I
uh,
haven't looked at it in the last probably 2 years. It's been 2 or more, maybe 3 years since I've really dove into it and tried to use it. And
yeah. I gained respect for them because they didn't shut down. Their CEO didn't shut down XRP. They still trade that over there. So, and in
hmm
the U.S. until the SEC says you can't. But so I thought that was kind of a gutsy play. But
yeah,
um, looking at Matic a little bit lately, this is an interesting one. We'll talk about at some point. They are. You ever hear this one, Crash?
mm, no.
They just rebranded to Polygon, so you see some
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
Matic Polygon. Yeah, I did read something about that. Tell me more.
They're a layer two protocol um for Ethereum. So it's DeFi. It's DeFi and effectively transforms Ethereum into a full fledged multi chain system,
Okay,
aka Internet of Blockchains.
so explain to our listeners what is it level two? Is that what you called it?
Yeah. So
Or
basically,
layer two? Yeah, layer
yeah,
two.
layer
Okay.
two, it means basically you're building, it's like an offshoot of the Ethereum blockchain. So you're not bogged down by all the scaling issues and all the stuff that the negatives of the Ethereum network. You use some of their technology. It's Flare is a similar thing. I mean, it's a little bit different, but they use the Ethereum virtual machine, which is basically their open source software for smart contracts. But they're not glued to. They're actually run on the XRP ledger, so super fast. But you have the smarts of the Ethereum virtual machine, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, and that's why they're hooking up with all these coins to unleash the power of DeFi for any coin that wants to hook up with them. Apparently, um, it's. I'm just wait. I think they're looking at Bitcoin and when to do it, and that will be. I wonder if they'll do that. I guess they're going to do it after they launch the project,
Wow.
but I mean they got. I mean they have all. I mean Stellar's a big one. That's a big move for them. You know they tested it with Doge. It's a fascinating situation. Anyways, DeFi is just so hot and there's so much going on with it. So you do have to be careful. Yet, uh, these guys are ERC20 tokens too, though. So
Mm-hmm.
it's,
It's going to be expensive to move them around.
right. But Polygon uses a customized version of the Plasma framework, which is built on proof of stake checkpoints. So they run some proof of stake, and They don't have a ton of tokens. I don't know. It's an interesting one. We'll maybe take a closer look, but
Okay.
it's done a lot. It's gone up quite a bit. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's up almost 1,000% over the last year.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one.
Oh, the last 90 days, it's up 1,000%.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of running. So,
Uh,
anyways,
what else?
Crash.
You got anything? Anything like
I got a special.
global governance
I got a.
arena?
Yep, I got a special treat for you. So hold on here. Okay, so Crash, I can only go so long before this guy just harasses me. I gotta hear some owl. I gotta hear some owl. So here you go. Here's one of her latest news
Yeah,
conferences.
this is the wise owl. You gotta, it's you gotta know what she's got to say because it
So
is
let's listen for just a moment.
Second, we will continue our purchases under the Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program, PEP, with a total envelope of €1,850 billion. We will conduct net asset purchases under the PEP until at least the end of March 2022, and in any case, until the Governing Council judges that the coronavirus crisis phase is over. The purchases under the PEP will be conducted to preserve favorable financing conditions over the pandemic period. We will purchase flexibly according to market conditions and with a view to preventing a tightening of financing conditions that is inconsistent with countering the downward impact of the pandemic on the projected path of inflation.
Little mix up there. Hold on. Do you like that, Crash? Or she's like, the pandemic program. I mean,
yeah, I don't even know what to say.
yeah, the rollout.
The rollout of the next
Our assessment of favorable financing conditions is not driven by any single indicator. It is a holistic approach. It takes into account multiple indicators, and bank lending is one, credit conditions is one, corporate yields is one, sovereign bond yields is one, and it's by combining all of those that we try to assess whether the financing conditions are favorable or not.
Favorable for who?
Favorable for you, man.
Oh, that's right. They care about us.
They care deeply about us. We appreciate it. I mean, it's just, we need more credit, right? More credit.
Coexist and will continue to do so if and when there is a digital euro. And I just want to remind you where we are in that process. We have launched a consultation throughout Europe on the 12th of October, which expired on the 12th of January, to which we had over 8,000 responses by multiple respondents, which have all addressed at least two of the questions that were included in the questionnaire. So we have received a mine of information, which we are currently processing, which will give rise to a report that will be shared, that will be made public and available, because we want that process to be totally transparent. My colleague on the board, Fabio Panetta, has reported to the European Parliament on that particular matter, and he will report again, I'm sure, when we have conclusions from that report. And it is only in the spring, probably in April, that we will determine whether or not we decide to go ahead with the work that will need to be done. But there are lots of questions that have not been resolved, and that will, when they are resolved, determine the shape, the technology support, the process by which the digital euro will be created. And I want to downplay any expectations that it is about to come. It will take a number of years. It is a complicated issue. It's one that has to be resolved without disrupting the current financial scene, nor jeopardizing the monetary policy transmission that we have currently. So, and we have not yet either decided what the technology backbone would be, ideally, in order to support that digital euro. But I would simply observe.
Fascinating.
Her body language is questionable.
Questionable at best.
I don't know. I'd love to have somebody who's a FBI body analyst, and if somebody's telling the truth or not, take a look at this one.
Yeah, I think a good.
Somebody needs to start a channel. Somebody that knows how to do that body language analysis. They need to start a YouTube channel for some of these people.
Yeah, Sam I Am does a little bit of that. He's done it once in a while. He did an older one with her in body language. I think a good chunk of the tech backbone for the digital euro is going to be Stellar and XRP.
Yeah,
It's going to be. I think they're going to have a chunk of that, and they're right now they're working out. Okay, well we got this around the blockchain. How are we going to keep printing money?
yeah.
That's the trick.
That's maybe they're not going to have any of it because it's going to be transparent. And they say they want transparency, but they don't.
Well, and it's interesting because XRP, I know for a fact, specifically has private channels they can set up. Banks aren't going to be completely transparent. That's why they dig XRP. They can have public stuff. They can have private stuff. So they're gonna. That's why they even consider this tech. If it was truly, you could see everything. The little people like us aren't going to be able to unless you're in privacy coins. I still think you're going to be able to, and it's such a. I mean, tracking down stuff. It's got to be just mind-bogglingly difficult. But there's definitely they can hide stuff and they can make stuff as private as they need to print. But they probably are working out the details,
I'm sure they are. They want it to be perfect before they do it.
And in the meantime, we got printing to do. I mean, she talked about another 1.8 trillion they're doing.
$1 billion. Yep.
It's we still got some printing to do, people.
That's again, that's more. That's as much or more than the cryptocurrency market completely.
Yeah. It's enough. Here we go.
Realistic and to observe the development of a situation which is really hard to predict and really hard to forecast. I think what we are observing on a preliminary basis, because this will really be the subject of our March next monetary policy governing council meeting. But what we are observing is a decline in growth in Q4, and as we all know, when you have a decline in Q4, when you have negative numbers we'll see, but decline in Q4 will travel into Q1 and will also impact the economic outcome for Q1. Added to which, as you said, there are more containment measures, there are intensification of lockdowns. Now, lucky or not, but we had anticipated the continuation and the lockdown measures that are currently in place, not to the curfew hour, if you will, but certainly it was included in our forecast, and that leads us to conclude that our forecast for 2021, around 4%, 3.9 if I recall, is still broadly valid at this point in time. But short-term risk tilted to the downside as well, no question about it. Uncertainty in the air. So we shall see, but we don't have enough clear, hard numbers yet to revise in any way.
Gotta get the numbers, Crash. We gotta get the numbers.
Blah 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 blah.
They do. They were, see, that's the thing about these people though. They make the big money and they make the big decisions, but look at how they anticipated the lockdowns. I don't know how they knew about it, but they knew.
I know, and saying the fourth quarter is going to be a downturn. What's that tell you?
Right.
Well,
No,
we're
I
still
think
the
she was
first
talking
quarter.
about the one that we just had, and then now we're in Q1. But I think this whole year is going to be choppy at best.
Mm-hmm.
Choppy at best. So I don't know. That's your fix of the owl for the day, Crash.
Yeah,
Maybe for the week, month, or year, huh?
yeah, that's going to give me nightmares. I
Anywho,
love her. I think she's super, super smart, and
yes.
she has a very clear understanding and grasp on so many areas of finance and world politics that you got to listen to her. You got to listen to her carefully.
Yeah, she knows what the deal is, and now she's hooked up with. She's good friends with Janet Yellen. Luckily, right?
Oh, yeah.
JL.
I'm sure they're spa partners.
Yeah, JL is. She's bringing it home too, and they're gonna make sure that we have the credit, all the credit that we need as as a society. So it's good, and we owe them a lot. We owe them a lot of gratitude. Bottom line.
No, the financial system is in good hands when we have nice ladies like this in charge.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, Crash. What do you think, man? Should we wrap it?
Oh, I suppose.
All right. People, be safe out there. Do good things and don't give up.
Yep. Enjoy the day and live in the present.
We're out of here. See ya.
Bye bye.
All right, Crash. Man, was that enough owl for you? I mean, are you happy?
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like listening to that. It just it clarifies in my head the trouble we're in.
Really? We're in good hands, dude. Come on.
Uh, these people are not going to give up any power without
Nope.
a big fight.
No.
And you look historically, when they get into positions like this, there's big, bad, ugly, long-lasting wars. And I know you got young kids, and I got boys that are at the age that in a few years they'd be drafted, and it scares the out of me.
Well, at least we started dropping bombs again, so that's good. Took a little hiatus, but now we're doing it again, so we're good.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't watch the news. What bombs?
Oh, over in the Middle East, we're dropping them.
Uh,
Get the war machine cranked up, man. We got to do it. I mean, it's just, we got to defend ourselves. Jeez. Anywho.
all right, man. I'm going to go learn about virtual reality.
VR. Sounds good, man. Keep us posted.
Yeah. Do a little fishing in my bedroom.
That's where you do it from. Don't go out to a lake. They're riddled with stuff out there, man.
Oh yeah, you could catch COVID 1984 out there. You gotta fish in your bedroom or in your living room.
Exactly.
Virtual reality.
You're
You
catching
really
on.
never have to leave your house. Everything comes via Amazon. Stay in your home. Windows closed. You can wave to your neighbors, but none of them are going to be walking by.
Ah.